Hello again, nerds. One more reaction to do in this batch, and the next batch will probably be a little bit closer to this one because I already have a list going. So, we are doing Il Nino's newest song, Sangre. Sangre. I can't remember if that's a hard A or a soft A, whatever. The new Il Nino, we've talked about him in the news show. They released the official side of the split has released a new song with the new band members. We're going to check it out. This is an intro, I think. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Sorry for the intro things. Buttons don't push sometimes. All right. So, expectations. I actually never purchased Il Nino music back when they were, at their peak when nu metal was the thing to be writing. Um, but I saw them. They were at a couple of Ozfest shows that I was at, so I am familiar with them. They just always kind of seemed like a poor man's Soulfly to me. So that's kind of why I never really got into them. They did have a couple of really groovy tunes. I can appreciate them. I definitely got in the pit when they were on stage, so it's not like I hated them at all. Just never really, really did it for me. And again, coming from somebody that says they listen to the mediocre portion of whatever genre they like, it's kind of saying something. I think I feel like they were always a little bit just on the underside of mediocre, like yeah, towards the bad half of that pack. Anyway, this is the new song. Let's transition. Let's do the thing and click on the buttons and go see the stuff. Oh, hey, we didn't finish expectations. Hold on, let's pause this. All right, so expectations. I expect it to be really groovy. I expect there to be a lot of low-tuned guitar. I expect it to be at least partially in Spanish because, the name Il Nino and all of their song titles are Spanish usually. So that being said, as far as the content of the song, I honestly expect this to be pretty middle of the pack, kind of, and nothing really to test the form. We're going to get a lot of A, B, A, B, AC kind of song structure, verse, chorus, maybe a pre-chorus, and then definitely a bridge, outro kind of situation. So, I don't think this is going to be anything super great, but it's probably going to be listenable. So that's where we stand with expectations. Now, let's listen to the actual song. Intro. I really like open intros like that. Just breathable. Ooh, I like his SG bass. See, there we go. Totally in Spanish. Nice and groovy on that kick drum. Hell yeah. This is almost like a pre-verse kind of section. Really tribal drum beat. Love that. Exactly what I was anticipating as far as verse goes. Really groovy, really heavy. Chorus. We had a pre-chorus, now we're into the chorus. And chorus, good cop, bad cop vocal. This is exactly what the other lineup of Il Nino used to do a lot of, which is part of the reason why I didn't really get into them as much. Because the good cop, bad cop vocal, is not even mediocre to me. It's like bass line. If you gotta have at least one song that does that if you're a new metal band, and that's like their bread and butter is the good cop, bad cop vocal. We're screaming on the verses, but then we're gonna sing in the chorus. And then we're in the pre-chorus. Yep, see, A, B, C, A, B, C. That's where we're at now. 2 drummers now? I don't remember them having 2 drummers before, so that's an addition at least. Chorus. We're gonna sing the chorus. Nothing really crazy structure-wise. Chord progression-wise is pretty standard for the genre. So this reminds me of a what's his name, George Lopez bit. George Lopez had a bit in a stand-up that he did years ago that he was talking about the movie Blood In, Blood Out, and he said, "Man, we were just tired of Hollywood making movies about us, and we were always gangsters, and we always doing drugs, and all of these horrible stereotypes. So we decided to make a movie for ourselves. And in that movie, we're gangsters, and we're doing drugs, and it's a bunch of gang activity, and like obviously him telling the joke is much more entertaining and funny. But this is kind of." It's perpetuating a lot of really, like, you have this new platform because you've been getting all of this coverage because of all of the legal issues your band has been going through, and then you decide to make a super generic song and a super generic video that perpetuates horrible minority stereotypes, and that's the direction you take. You've squandered any potential good will that was probably going to be coming your way. And now it's groovy. It's listenable. It's nothing. I don't hate it. I just am not. I probably wouldn't. If they were headlining a bill, I probably wouldn't go unless the supporting acts were amazing. Let's just put it that way. And I don't think they're going to be headlining any bills that I'm going to go see anytime soon. Just saying. Are we going to get a solo? That's the next question. Are we going to get a solo? It is new metal, so probably not, but here's our bridge. Bridge into chorus. See, it wouldn't be... Oops, I totally didn't mean to do that. It wouldn't be so bad if his good cop vocal was good. And this isn't, it's not terrible. Like, I'm not trying to poop on it too bad, but like, it's not great. Like, he's singing in the back of it here. You hear, so he sounds like he kind of has a frog in his throat. He's singing from here instead of from here. I'm gonna get up a little higher. So instead of from here, which is where your most of your voice, the only voice that doesn't come from your chest is your head voice, which is your falsetto, and that's not falsetto. So he's singing from here, and you can hear it. Also means he's going to be damaging the shit out of his throat. It's so frustrating because I wanted it to be much better than it is. Again, listenable, totally dig the drums. I really, really dig that tribal sound that they've got. I really appreciate the heaviness in the guitars and the chunkiness in those riffs. It's just really predictable. And not only that, let's get back to that note right there. So they even with quantization and Pro Tools being the ridiculous tool that it is, this note that he's singing right here, he's just a little not quite there. It's on the flat side. It's like honestly like 10 cents flat. Like just not there. They could have beefed that up a little bit, written a better melody line. I don't know. There's a little bit of nasal quality to that vocal tone too that's just not doing anything good for it. And the cycle continues. Bum bum bum. So yeah, that's the new Il Nino, the new band. There is like 10 seconds left on this. What could you possibly be doing with 10 seconds left? That's it? That's all you're going to do for 10 seconds? Oh, then the people who made the video got to get their half a second worth of. All right, so yeah, that was exactly what I expected. I was not blown away by it. It wasn't terrible, but also wasn't very good. Yeah, that's. I honestly like. I didn't expect it to be anything other than what it was, but I wanted it to be something better than it was. I wanted it to be. We have this resurgence in interest in our band, so we're going to do something great with that, and that's not what we got. We got that. Really mediocre, really like leaning into the mediocrity. Uh, but again, that's kind of what Il Nino's always been, so I shouldn't have high hopes, right? What did you think? Well, and please, I don't want to hear any nonsense about it because it's because they're Hispanic or something like that, because obviously not. Um, I'm looking at the music in and of itself. Yes, I do think that the video is perpetuating some ridiculous stereotypes. And I hopefully pretty obviously am not Hispanic, of any sort of Hispanic descent. So, there it's. I'm looking for good music. I love Soulfly. I think that's what these guys want to be. I think their drummer wants to be in Soulfly, which is why he does those really awesome tribal rhythms. I don't think the guitar players have enough direction and the arrangements. I don't know exactly how this band writes. I feel like someone needs to find a better direction so that you're not just making the same mediocrity that you were making back in 2003, or whenever they put out that record that got them on Ozfest. I this could have been one of the songs that they played when I saw them on Ozfest, and I wouldn't know because they all sound like this. So again, the new lineup hasn't changed the sound enough to make it stand out at all. It's that I'll stop. I'll stop. I did like some pieces of it. Some elements of this were very good. The mixing of it was pretty good, though I couldn't hear any bass, but that was kind of to be expected, again, because nu metal is kind of notorious for that, in spite of the fact that some of the torchbearers or the flag bearers, whatever, of the genre have wicked bass players. Specifically, I'm thinking of the Sam Rivers and Fieldy, who are, the poster children for nu metal. And then when you get a little bit further into the genre and like early Mudvayne, I know this drove me crazy about the Punk Rock MBA video about nu metal. Mudvayne is not technically nu metal, though they did get notoriety because the genre was so big, and they did have elements from that. So again, them being such a large face in that same time frame, and them having a bass player that is God. Ryan Martini is amazing. I would expect the genre, but this isn't the case. The genre itself, nu metal, notoriously has bad mixes when it comes to the bottom end. You get great drums, you get really good guitar tone. The bass tone often gets lost unless you're one of those three bands that I've already talked about. So that's unfortunate, but it is what it is. And that's exactly what we got here again. I'm like I said, I'm stopping. What did you guys think of the song? Did you like it? Did you have different expectations for this tune? Let's have that conversation down in the comment section. There is a website, generallynerdy.net. There is a Patreon if you want to help support. If you like the things that I'm trying to do here on the channel, then go over to the Patreon and you'll get more of the things that I'm doing here on the channel. Patreon.com/generallynerdy if you hadn't figured it already, or if you're new to the channel and have never heard me use those words before. You can click here or here, right there. If you want to see other things going on the channel, right here in the center is the subscribe button, just trying to help you out. Subscribe, like, share, whatever, thumbs up. If you like this, thumbs down. If you don't, just let's have the conversation. I want to hear what you think about this video and all of that. So thank you guys again very, very much. I'm rambling. We're going to get to the end. Before we go, always remember that if it's generally nerdy, it's probably here.